So when we originally started out with land use coding, it was only for health, safety, and welfare. In the late 70s, the Supreme Court said that community character could be counted as a part of health, safety, and welfare. So now we've got this character conversation, and it allowed us to adopt a whole range of other regulations that were never initially contemplated when the courts first recognized the police powers of the jurisdiction to regulate land use. So now we're talking about parks instead of just fire hydrants, and roads that can safely let people in and out and allow for safe circulation within the subdivision. My name's Jeff Daugherty, and I'm a recovering regulator. One of the jurisdictions that I was responsible for was Teton County, Jackson Hole area, basically. Examples of regulations that go too far and how that happens. So for example, the International Code Council that writes the family of codes that governs almost all building construction in the United States today, they have what they call code congresses. And they're usually in really amazing places like Florida, so everybody wants to go. And every special interest in the world shows up at these and tries to get either their component or their idea incorporated into the code. It is the most special interest laden event. So what happens is the building codes are about life safety and about preserving life long enough to get the occupants out of a building during an earthquake or a fire or a flood or another crisis that's likely for the area. Smoke detectors are what most codes require for residential construction. Cost you $500 to $1,000 to equip your house with smoke detectors. The problem is insurance companies are interested in protecting structures against loss. And so they require, or would like to have the codes require, that every residential unit have a fire sprinkler in it. And that's going to add $15 to $20 per square foot. So it's easy for an applicant to get another $20,000 added when you could address the life safety issue for $500 to $1,000. And that's the problem when codes go too far, is that it adds up cost and makes it ultimately unaffordable to the applicant, because you get well-intentioned regulations like energy codes, and that adds $4,000 to your window package. The fire sprinkler adds $20,000. And I'll give you one more example. The trusses in your home are hung, the clamp that they use to mount your trusses to your home are hung with a Tico nail, made by the Tico Nail Company. Looks a lot like a 6-penny nail, only a little bit fatter and a lot more expensive. And the reason you have to use a Tico nail is because the Tico Nail Company went to the Code Congress and got the Tico nail lobbied into the code as a requirement. And even though that's a little tiny nail, it's still more cost. And so when you add up all of those costs, it becomes crushing, especially for entry-level and mid-level products. But that's the moment when I realized that the work that I was doing was, on one hand, helping people, but with the other hand, I was crushing people. And I was telling the elected officials to adopt every one of these regulations.